Alrighty guys, today we're going to be going over a video that I've got a couple of requests for, and that is what it takes to solo a champ spawn on InsaneUO. So this is my basic skill setup. This is going to be my first character over here. Ignore the necromancy, I'm just trying to get 120 spirit speak, and I'm getting all of my scrolls myself. So started off with 120 animal lore, 120 taming, eval intelligence 120, magery 120, and spell weaving 120, and spirit speak 115, but going to be 120 as soon as I get a skill scroll for it. So the reason I went with these is with human you get jack of all trades, which is going to allow you to use the scrolls to do wraith, so I don't have to worry about getting the necromancy. Animal lore and animal taming is just so I can use the best animals and pets. Eval intelligence and magery is going to be for the heavy hitting damage of death ray. Necromancy, like I said, was just to use wraith until I realized that I could use that with jack of all trades, so I put that on down. And of course spell weaving is for the area effect damage. It is for the additional gift of renewal and gift of life, and allows me to do area damage on the champs and stuff. Spirit speak is for the mana drain. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here into the community rune library, make sure to do our arcane circle. The bottom book here in the community rune library is for champ spawns, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to go over to, let's do Tortoise. Gotta find it. There it is. So it's just like the others, so you just have to make sure to activate your valor and pop. No way, do I not have enough valor? Oh no, I must have missed a little bit. Give me 1 second, I'll get someone to pop in. Alright, so if you're down on Valor for any reason, you can actually go over to Despise for the Vermin, and it will, it's always up, so you can farm your Valor there. For some reason you just don't have enough, or maybe it's like your first champ spawn or something like that. So very, very cool. You can just head over there and work on your Valor. Alright, back to Tortoise. Pop. So I like to start off with a wild... Oh, good, we got undead. So as far as the tactics on this, you're probably thinking, wow, cool, you just stand in the center and press thunderstorm the whole time. You can't do that the whole time. You really got to, well, you kind of move around a little bit as the waves change. Goodness gracious, I'm getting racked here. So yeah, as the waves change, the undead one to me is a little bit more of the more difficult one, just because they do cast spells from a distance a lot. I think the easiest one would probably be Barracoon. It just starts off with like rats and slimes, and then like continues on rats and like dogs, and then more dogs, and then at the very end you've got a couple of like silver snakes, and that's about it. But as you can see, that this one is much more range based. I mean, every single one of these things can cast, so it makes it more challenging to get them. But the more you fight these, the easier it gets. The more spell damage you have, obviously, the more damage you're going to do to these things with spells. And it's a very unique on this server. If you get 120 Taste ID, which is a free skill, and 120 Poisoning, you actually become poison immune. So that is a huge benefit to being a caster or a melee. to not ever be able to be poisoned at all. Very, very huge benefits. As you can see, it starts off with these red skulls. As you get the skull, as you kill, these skulls will actually pop up here in the middle and allow you to see your progress towards the next skull. Every time it fills up one side, it will pop over to a different set of creatures or monsters, giving you a little bit more variety. Over here on InsaneUO, there is no time limit on your ability to do these. You can take as long as you want, and you can do them as quickly as you want. So that means no time period in between you having to wait or be forced to do one that you don't want to do, because there's like a hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, whatever it is, time limit between them. So as soon as I'm done with this, if I've only got, let's say, 45 minutes to play because I had a long day at work that day, I can simply activate the Valor again right off the bat when I'm done with this, knock out a couple of champ spawns, make some money and some scrolls, and then hit the hay if that was something that I was wanting to do that day. So it's much more open for your ability to play on your time, rather than, let's say, for example, if there was like a bonus system set up that you'd want to make sure that if you did that champ spawn, you had 10 to 12 players that are simply not available 90% of the time to do that. So it's just a wasted benefit. So here, you're really able to utilize the time that you have available for yourself to be able to maximize the gameplay that you have. I love whenever they start moving with that wildfire. It just looks like the whole field is on fire. So awesome. So obviously there are also going to be different tactics for different locations for champ spawns. So like, for example, if I went to the Death Starred one, it is much larger, so you're going to have to move around much more in order to kill the mobs, which will lead you to obviously different kind of tactics that you're going to end up having to use as you're moving around. You'll use a lot more wildfire than you will use thunderstorm. So see if we can't pop off these guys that are hiding over here in the corners. I'm going to have to end up doing another video on how to do this as a melee, but I haven't made a melee yet. They're more gear intensive to get to the point where you can really be just a powerhouse. So I'll have to end up going and farming up some actual melee gear before I can do that. I've been kind of focused on this guy, which, as you can see, I'm getting there. I've got the scrappers, I've got a couple of different things, got some legendary equipment, but I also still have some gear that I need to work on pretty heavily. So need to get into the questing, need to do the sea adventures, get my Captain Hook shield and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, I've got a ways to go on gear and everything before I'm able to really say that this is the best it gets as a caster. But again, I don't mind the journey. That's half the fun. The player base over here with Dork Hoser and all of them that have been so great. Obviously they got the temp house going over here and everything else. is extremely willing to help you gear up, as am I. If I have anything extra, you're always welcome to it. It's kind of unfortunate, you know, just for being on one of my videos, Hoser / Dork was actually banned from his previous server. I mean, we've all heard the stories, but it's really sad to think that just because you decide to play somewhere different, you can be banned, which is just disgusting. But I mean, it really just shows the true colors of some people. But I digress. This is about champ spawns. That's what we're going to keep it to. So as you can see, this wave was more zombies and the skeletal mages, or bone mages, I apologize. The next one should be more based on the skeletal knights, and then the last one, it's gross. It's got those green zombies that have a lot more HP. I forget what they're called, actually. I'll have to look here in a second. Corpser, maybe? Not really sure. But I know they have a tremendous amount of HP. We can definitely also go over the event that led to me getting this chimera, because I don't ever see them used here. I see more people on the jade dragons and the horses and things like that, but I have had, I mean, I feel like I've had really good luck with this chimera. I haven't had any issues. And I know I do see people talking in chat and stuff about how, you know, the legendary horse they've got or something is really good because it can kill Scimitar and all this stuff, you know, by itself. But I've had this thing solo Scimitar, so I feel like maybe this thing is just like underrated. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't sleep on the chimera. It's a really nice one. All right, so we've got skeletal knights and liches now. So that's actually good because the liches are the only ones that cast out of this. The skeletal knights don't seem like they do. So that frees up a little bit to use some more wildfire in between and not have to worry about everything getting interrupted or getting poisoned over and over. And I can definitely see the benefit of having poisoning at like 120 to get that poison resist. I can't seem to find anything in my setup that I would be willing to do without. I don't want to do without Spirit Speak because I like the drain. I don't want to be doing without eval because I like the extra damage. I mean, obviously I can't get rid of Magery, Taming, or Lore. So yeah, I just don't think that there's anything that I would be able to give up. All right, so here we've got my ring. My ring is low, so we're gonna go ahead and pop over here, and I'm gonna show you guys another really cool thing. So here at the repair bench, you've got an option down here to repair all of your equipment for 24,000 gold. Done. You get so much gold from these champ spawns that it's not even that big of a deal to go spend 24k on repairs. And then we'll just head right back to Tortoise. Pet seemed to be doing just fine when I was gone. And we'll go again. And I really can. I can remove the antique, obviously. And guess what? It costs gold, not money, not hard-earned money from your job. And I think it's like 500,000 or something, which actually isn't a lot. It's like 2 champ spawns worth of stuff to remove. But I don't know that I'll be using this thing forever. So I'm going to go ahead and wait off and see if I can't get something better before I spend it on this one. Just because I am just getting established. If I was a couple of months in and had millions in the bank, I would probably just remove it just to remove it. But I am still getting started, so... I need to make a carpenter too, but we'll go into that into another video because you can customize your homes on here a lot more than other places as well. So, rotting corpses, that's what they're called. And they have just a lot more HP. And of course they poison on hit. But my pet is immune to poison, so... Wonder if Earthquake does better. Hey, not bad. Probably the same, actually, you know, whenever you look at the difference in speed. That's another reason, though, I really like the eval intelligence, is because you're going to be able to have like a different array of options for both AoE and single point damage with the two different options as far as spell weaving and eval intelligence for magery. If these guys got high resistances on lightning or energy or whatever, then I can go switch over to my Earthquake and still do AoE damage, but not have to worry about, you know, it doing 1 damage a piece and not being able to get any of my mana back, because obviously the mana drain is based on your damage. You 23% hit for, you know, mana drain. So if you're doing 2 damage, that's, you know what, 0.5. Not good. So this last wave is pretty anticlimactic. It's just these guys that are going to spawn and go immediately to my pet. They don't spawn far on the last wave, so it's all kind of more generalized, like right in this area, which is nice actually. You don't have to move much. You don't have to go chase anything down, but it is kind of boring because, like I said, they do have a lot more HP, so it doesn't seem exactly like it goes like super fast, just because it's a little bit harder mobs. We're getting there. Should be a couple more mobs and then we're done. Alright, after this little grouping here, we should have Neira the Necromancer spawn. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue on our AoE until we get rid of... Okay, he's going down. Then we'll switch over to Death Ray for Neira. And don't be super shocked, Neira is literally the easiest one in my opinion. She canceled my Death Ray. No. So if anybody's keeping count, we are at 17 minutes and 30 seconds. And that's with me going to repair, talking, all that good stuff. So I've got 25K on me right now. So let's go ahead and we'll get a toll here. We'll put that up. And we'll go ahead and start counting, because you get a tremendous amount of gold off of these. You get about 250K per champ spawn. So obviously if you solo them, that's great, but if you don't, you're not stuck everybody just rushing to the gold piles, because you only get about 10 to 15K each. Like, you're going to be able to, especially if you do this with 2 or 3 people, you're all walking away with 100K pretty much, or 80. See if there's anything good here. Man, I wish that was something other than just archery and then. That's not bad. Battle Leech and Life Lust. Full Necro book. Alright, well that's it. We are all done with that champ spawn. We could either restart one immediately, or we can head back and obviously we can bank this stuff. And we get 49 insanity coins, a ton of scrolls, like a ton of scrolls. And in order to put these up, for starters, it's way easy. All of this stuff you can just click on your Insane Scroll Archive and collect. Now you're ready to go back and do another one. So if you have any questions in the comments, please let me know. I look forward to doing these videos more often. And I'm going to be trying to work on another build soon. But I do need to get this one built up where I want it to be before, you know, obviously that happens. So look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.